if we all know, free agency kind of spurred out of control around the 13th of yesterday, around Monday. Of course, we had massive acquisitions. Of course, Mike White from the New York Jets went over to the Dolphins. I'm sorry, I'm trying to pretend to care. Oh my God. Taylor Heineke, former starting quarterback for the Washington Commanders. We thought they were going to free over cap space for Jimmy Garoppolo, but the massive teaser already came to fruition with him heading over to the Las Vegas Raiders with Jacoby Myers over a 3-year, $33 million deal. Just got signed over to the Las Vegas Raiders after his stint over in New England. In a massive trade. I mean, massive trade. Darren Waller, tight end for the former tight end, got traded over for a third-round pick. Same as Jalen Ramsey. Jalen Ramsey also went to the Miami Dolphins. Darren Waller took his $11 million contract and got signed over a tight end spot to help with the receiving core with the New York Giants after an underwhelming 2022 season. I don't know if the same thing's going to happen over with Hunter Renfrow. Supporting cast is going to be pretty questionable. As well as after DJ Moore just got signed over a trade for the first round pick, trading around 2024's first round pick, and 2023's first round pick, 2025's second round pick, and second round pick from 2023, just to get the first overall pick of the number 1 draft, to possibly get either Anthony Richardson, CJ Stroud, or Bennett. Just a lot of massive quarterback hype over this draft. Austin Eckler also getting some massive contributions, and I think some conversions over his contractual obligations after a great season with the Los Angeles Chargers. This has just been a massive offseason like always. The NFL, you don't know where players are always gonna go. And that's kind of that's always a surprise. After Raheem Mostert got re-signed over with the Miami Dolphins, the Philadelphia Eagles just got Jason Kelce, as well as Rashad Penny, a reasonable, good, in-depth back. That's a massive speedster for the Eagles after his stint with the Seahawks. Taylor Heineke, don't know how he's going to perform. I'm not going to lie. Donovan Wilson signed a 3-year deal worth $24 million with the Dallas Cowboys. And Jalen Ramsey's contract just got displayed for $33 million for 3 years. Short stint deals. There's also been a 1-year extension. I don't know if it's a franchise tag over Michael Thomas, if his behavioral issues will be a must. I guess it's the same thing over why people were so upset about Saquon getting tagged when he obviously, after a good breakout year, it's an extension over his injury history. The same thing with Lamar Jackson, and people were trying to conflict it over to a racial debate of why Lamar won league MVP, the shit the bed and always plays half the season, and then he's supposed to get as much as Daniel Jones. So it's not really a racial issue if you're bringing over a white quarterback when Deshaun Watson got paid over a $250 million for being accused of sexually assault. So that's not really racial, is it? It's just that the Baltimore Ravens are idiots. So shut up. Shut up. Keeping it a buck. I'm just saying. I apologize. Quentin Richardson just got released. I got shocked as well when not only Quentin Richardson got released, but the Baltimore Ravens also released a great deep defensive lineman. San Francisco 49ers also signed Sam Darnold over this free agency. I still don't know why. I understand the quarterback debates has been a must just because, of course, Brock Purdy, we didn't even know he was going to be putting up the same type of production that he did after a tremendous season debut off him off his rookie season. Trey, we don't know what's going to happen involving Trey Lance, knowing that it's still been a stint for him after sacrificing picks for him. And Sam Darnold at least has some starting experience and has been at least healthfully consistent. So I guess that's the best stint that we can do. That's playing it safe for the time being, knowing Darnold doesn't have much of an injury history, unlike the two quarterbacks that we have. So just think of the smarter picture around here for Niners fans, being a bit more realistic on why possibly Purdy's not going to put up the same production that he did over his season. Green Bay Packers, I don't think they've done that much of news. They got Keyshawn Nixon. There's already stint that it's already confirmed that it's already a done deal. We just need I guess more information financially over Aaron Rodgers' financial situation or what's going to be sacrificed over the New York Jets. So that's possibly going to be a massive headline still over where Aaron Rodgers is going to go. After trying to fix up their backfield depth, getting Donovan Wilson, that's the only move the Dallas Cowboys made so far since getting Anthony Brown and then getting T.Y. Hilton around the second half of the season. Anthony Barr, I mean. Emmanuel Mosley? They pick up D-back Emmanuel Mosley that used to be a Niner. And John Kamenetsky, Matt Nelson to help off the offensive line. Cameron Sutton from the Pittsburgh Steelers to help over their secondary because we know that the Lions have an issue defensively. So what an acquisition hold. And by the way, Von Bell out. Von Bell, former All-Pro D-back for the Cincinnati Bengals, just signed over a 3-year, $22 million deal. After literally making it to the Super Bowl, you think there'd be more contractual obligations for the Cincinnati Bengals. But such a loss after keeping Jermaine Pratt and Trey Flowers and signing over Trey Flowers over the deals. I don't know what's going to happen. They even got Nick Eubanks. That's been a reasonable tight end over for the... After getting Nick Eubanks, even though they didn't really use him. But I know they're trying to compensate defensively after losing two reasonable D-backs and putting up a great postseason performance after not getting it done in the AFC Championship. And we know Jermaine Pratt, even though he kind of kept it on clutch after a necessary roughness call over Jimmy Garoppolo, not Jimmy Garoppolo, Patrick Mahomes in the AFC title game, still a reasonable player that just made a dumb decision. Well-deserved extension for him. Atlanta Falcons were trying to make some moves. Also former Bengal Jesse Bates III got 4 years, $63 million. Keith Smith, as well as Caden Ellis, for 3 years, $21 million. I don't know why they're trying to buy out when you're stuck with Heineke as your quarterback, and you're stuck with an aging. Now, don't get me wrong, the Falcons do have some good potential talent on their offense and defense. Especially after not closing out losing 6 out of the last 7 games to try to contend over a struggling AFC South. Cordero Patterson and Tyler Ellinger can't be the reason why you guys got to carry out games. Zacchaeus is good. And I need to see a lot more of Desmond Ridder if they're even trying to keep him for the potential future. Even though Heineke, I bet, is going to beat him for the position. Drake London had an outstanding rookie season. 866 receiving yards on 4 receiving touchdowns. I think he led the team in receiving touchdowns next to Nicole Prout. And Kyle Pitts, not really that outstanding of a breakout when it comes to the offense. But I'm liking Drake London. He got the size, good off the red zone threat, and he's a decent enough route runner. I wonder what offensive weapons the Falcons are gonna make over the rest of the offseason. But I feel like they're trying to at least get some contention, knowing that there's not that much of a contending front in the NFC South. Knowing that the Saints just got Derek Carr, and I guess they're the most hardware ready, knowing they got more depth offensively. Even though they're still like possibly in the struggle and playmaking, knowing that they just lost Sean Payton to the Broncos after he had a dismissal around the 2022 season. The Panthers are basically rebuilding, and the Buccaneers, we still don't know what to get over the Buccaneers since Tom Brady has retired, and Mike Evans is possibly going to be a trade asset, knowing if they're going to still contend. Chicago Bears got T.J. Edwards from the They got T.J. Edwards from the Eagles, Trayvon Edmonds from the Bills, Nate Davis on the offensive line. So they're really trying to build over a good defensive unit with already a struggling secondary. They already got Clay. They already got Claypool after a week showing after getting traded from the Steelers, and they already have a good enough tight end. And you got DJ Moore. I feel like the sky's the limit to see if the Bears can actually pull over contention, knowing like the Vikings just let go of Adam Thielen, that the Giants should be taking advantage of. Just saying, or the Jets, knowing Aaron Rodgers is possibly going to be in the market for some type of potential receivers if they're trying to make a run. But I'm just saying, these are obviously advantages that the team should do with Darnell Mooney, Chase Claypool, and now you got DJ Moore, two potentially outstanding all-pro receivers that are still young, couldn't make an asset being good run options over the depth. What Malik Beasley still there? Not Malik Beasley. Is it Malik Beasley? Khalil Herbert. Okay, Khalil Herbert. That had the massive upside after their starting halfback got hurt. And after they traded around N'Keal Harry to not start over the 15 games he was available for, and not even break over 100 receiving yards over the 15 games he appeared in. That's kind of bad. And they already have a reasonable secondary. They just can't open over the midfield, and that's why the Bears over the second half of the season were kind of letting out games that they should have won if their defense was just more exceptional. Especially that great game they had against the Miami Dolphins. They got guys like Jaquan Brisker, Eddie Jackson, great ball hawk, Roquan Smith. That was good until he got taken away. Oh, man. Muhammad, Dominique Robinson. They can do some stuff with this defense and actually build something. And this offseason has been very good to them, especially over their linebacking core. It's a rarity sometimes that teams do that. They usually build around the draft when it comes to getting a natural phenom on the defensive side of the ball, like the linebacking position. Usually they focus on D tackles or edges or trying to get a corner or a safety. Rarity, I always see the linebacking position a major threat. But T.J. Edwards and Trayvon Edmonds are in the right direction. Kirk Cousins just got a refigured deal over $20 million for his contract, knowing that his contract's supposed to expire around 2024. Jawan Taylor for offensive line assist, and Denny Shelton for, it's just Jawan Taylor from the Jaguars to help with the struggling offensive line that is the Kansas City Chiefs. Mahomes really got to watch over his ankle. Scripted. And we still got Jake Brandell, Javon Hargrave, after a massive signing for worth $84 million for 4 years. And I was literally on Corey Davis's I was on Corey Davis's channel, and they were going over possibly cheap edge rushers to assist over to the defense to possibly make the Niners just more threatening and possibly pressure over to the pressure and carry the offense again. And I was really edging on getting a guy like Max Crosby so we can push over to the outside linebacking position. Already he's so much of a presence knowing his athleticism, but I know he would be a bigger market price if they trade for him. So that would be like tough. Tough for him to acquire. Or Yannick Ngakoue from the Indianapolis Colts. That would also be a massive splash play on the defensive side of the ball, knowing like we're already sealed over on offense except the quarterback position. Knowing that Jawan is possibly going to stay. Brandon Ayuk is possibly going to stay unless they refigure a financial deal for him. And we don't know if we're going to get the same production that we got in 2021 for Deebo Samuels. Knowing how much he kind of underwhelmed this offseason. Knowing Ayuk, Kittle, and McCaffrey kind of carried over the offense after a 13-4 record. No, honestly, Kyle Juszczyk was more productive. Brandon Ayuk went for 1,000 yards, over 8 receiving touchdowns this season with a 54 long. George Kittle put up another All-Pro season. McCaffrey put up one of the best comeback seasons of his career, being a dual threat option over the offensive front, still near his prime. Elijah Mitchell, we don't know what type of production to get from him. Deebo Samuels just felt like he was just there. And this is after his extension. 632 receiving yards off 59 catch rating. The rest of the starting players are above around 65. Even Ray McCloud was more of a threat offensively. So I'm not even knowing what to get off Deebo if he just remains consistent, knowing like we also don't have an impressive quarterback position, knowing that Garoppolo's gone where the money is. So that's some questions to bring up. Speaking about the Minnesota Vikings, the only person they got is Garrett Bradbury to help over the offensive line. Nick Mullins, former Niner Nick Mullins, and Marcus Davenport, and Josh Oliver for 3 years, $21 million. And I thought wasting Mason Rudolph's career was worse. And they just dropped Adam Thielen like he wasn't a good receiver as the second best option. I know KJ Osborne they're possibly going to extend, but that's just insanity. So I wonder where he's going to go. Comment where he's possibly going to go around the off season. But yeah, that's a majority of news that we're having around the NFL offseason. A lot of splash maneuvers, knowing that Ramsey's gone from the Rams for just a bench player and a third-round pick. Darren Waller goes for a third round to steal for offensive weaponry for the Giants, especially when they already got a good receiver, just one receiver. Sterling Shepard, after an extension, they had to tag Saquon to see if he could still help over this offense with already a good, legitimate defense. So I don't know if that's still going to help them be the second best team over in the NFC East. Depending if the Eagles can, keep the momentum going and make sure that the 2022 season wasn't a fluke after being the best team in football until the Chiefs knocked them off their high horse. Tell me how you feel in the comments down below. Thanks for watching the DST show. I'm going to take my aspirin.